This is Jerningham here, ladies and gentlemen. What do you guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, think? British troops warned it's illegal to go AWOL and fight in Ukraine war. So what does this mean, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? Should the soldiers have went off and fighted in Ukraine for the British Army? And should they have told their commanding officer, or they would have said, he probably would have said, no, anyway, you can't fight in Ukraine, stay in the British Army. Have they done the wrong thing or the bad thing? Some people say they've done the right thing. What will happen to them soldiers that have come back from Ukraine fighting in Russia to the British Army? Would they put them in jail? Who knows? Will the Americans, if they're volunteering, going there doing that, will they do the same thing as well? Could other countries follow suit and copy what the British have done, which what we've done? Does that set a bad? Sorry, what I'm trying to say is, does that set a bad example, or are the British people doing the right thing? The troops going off from the British Army and helping in a war which they should be in there, or shouldn't they be in there? Some would say yes, and some would say no. Some would say it was very stupid and very foolish what they've done, but what would you decide, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? Let's watch this video for you to make a decision, for you to decide. Some people will probably be disappointed in these soldiers, other people think they betrayed their post and why should they be in the army. But everyone's different, so let's have a bit of a idea and read what's going on. I'm going to play the video.
What's going to happen to military personnel who've deserted their post to go to fight in Ukraine?
They'll be in an awful lot of trouble.
What does that
mean?
Well,
they have, to be clear, and the army has put out a statement overnight to say this. It is illegal for a British service person to, well, first of all, to go absent without leave in the first place, but to go absent without leave in order to fight in a foreign war is simply unacceptable, and frankly risks the United Kingdom being wrongly claimed by Russia to be a belligerent in this. And I think, service people who might think that they are doing the right thing should reflect that it is 100% not the correct thing to be doing. And I'd go further and say it's not just that very small number of soldiers that have gone AWOL apparently in order to go and fight in Ukraine. I would say to the wider veterans community, I know, because I have stood in the room where you do your attestation and you accept the unlimited liability in the service of your country to stand up for what's right in the world, that there's a thing deep inside you as a soldier that makes you see TV images like the ones you're showing and makes you want to go and fight to put things right. But no good comes from British service people or veterans going to Ukraine to be a part of this. The Ukrainians have got a huge amount of manpower within their army. The Ukrainian nation has rallied to take up arms. The role that the West is playing is to provide them with the best weaponry that we can so that they can achieve their aims, and we are supporting every way we can. This is not the time for people to be going there. And more importantly, Kay, as the Ukrainians have made clear, once you cross the border with the expectation to fight, you're in it for good. So people who think they can go there, do a couple of weeks, take some selfies, get some Instagram shots, and then come home, that is not the way the Ukrainians are viewing the people that go to fight for them. British people should not be doing it. The fact is that they are launching artillery and missiles into urban areas where they know that targeting is challenging, and they are using weapon systems that are not precision. That is a policy choice that they've made, and the West is watching, and Russian commanders need to remember that war crimes are not just committed by those at the very top of the Russian government. They are committed all the way down the chain of command by all who are involved, and these atrocities are being watched, they're being catalogued, and people will be held to account.
Does Britain want this latest incident in Mariupol to be investigated as a war crime?
Yes, absolutely. It is. What you see on your TV screens is a war crime. Now, clearly, there is evidence to be gathered in which to prove that it is a war crime, and Western countries are working together to make sure that that evidence is gathered in the best way so that people can be held to account. But let's be clear, what Putin is doing is not a war waged between two militaries. Right now, he has besieged a number of Ukrainian cities. He's waged a war against Ukrainian civilians.
Well, there we go, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. It's not really our war to be fighting Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales. Why on earth did those British soldiers decide to go through there? I mean, if that's the case for Ukraine, if you can only go one way in and one way out and you can't leave, then didn't you know that was going to happen? I mean, hold on a second here. I'm just trying to put the light on. Sorry about that, to put the light on. What I'm trying to saying is, why did they do that in the first place? They just decided to go across to their borders. I mean, for what their actions have done, does that mean Russia's going to try and bomb the UK because of their actions? Will Russia start invading England, as we already seen, when they're in the planes on the boats in the Irish Sea and they flew over and our British Air Force flew them back out? Because they've done this act, some of them said they've betrayed us, some of the British in the army, and some of them have been hurt and seen their own friends and colleagues going into the war they shouldn't be there. It's not our war to fight, you see, what's happened here. Some people may disagree, some people say we're being silly, but it's not. Will this inflict us in the UK? I mean, we could have war sirens going off in the UK now because of this problem, and it's very serious. Or nothing may come above it or happen, but will the soldiers stay in Ukraine? Will they come back home? Will they be put in prison? I mean, they shouldn't have gone into the Russia and Ukraine in the first place, our soldiers. We were told specifically not to go in. The same with America. But volunteering is different. If you're an American volunteer and a British volunteer to go there, that's fine. But the other soldiers were told specifically not to go in there. I don't know if it's going to cause any more problems, guys, girls, ladies and gentlemen. Probably won't. You're probably saying worrying over nothing. Who knows? Could it go like World War One and World War Two, where the Germans start coming over bombing the UK because of this thing what we've done? They're probably having an excuse now to try and bomb the UK. Perhaps I'm being silly. Some people may think that won't happen. Well, it's happened in Kiev, it's happened in Russia, because that's their war. Why are we getting forced into a war? It seems a bit stupid that they've done this. But anyway, thank you for joining me, and see you next video. Peace. Take it easy.